U-Toob shave fans, type 2 diabetes rescued by keto fans, carnivore eating fans, super curve honing fans, scrape razor shaving fans. It's Bill here. Today is the November the 30th, Saturday. Those of you here in the U.S. where we celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. I'm going to do a little bit of a shave that's going to take me around some new stuff and a little bit down in some ways memory lane. First of all, the soap I'm using, and I did notice that Sean Staplefeld did a video where he showcased this soap here. This is Subtle Arts Soap Company. Joe's a real nice guy who has been participating here on YouTube, making hone-in videos and talking about his stuff and his soap. And based upon the advice of that crazy Frenchman down in Louisiana, the Cajun Blade, I decided to buy some of this stuff because he makes very good soap. And if he says, usually he's the kind of guy that if he told me that, hey, that's shit over there, that's wet, warm, and stinks, I would not go over there and pick it up and stick my nose in it. I would just take his word for it. So when he said that that Joe makes a pretty good soap, I thought I'd try it. And this is considered, it's animal products free. I don't like to say vegan for whatever reason. Okay, because vegans can't wear leather. Okay. Anyhow, and I'm using a brush. Okay, this is a unique brush. Okay, this is the JR 367. This is, I used to kid around that this was made from this was the business end and somebody got the butt end of my brush, and it turned out to be a Louisville Slugger baseball bat. I joked about that. But when they make baseball bats, I guess they turn them and there's a cut that they take off of the bottom. And somebody had gone to the Louisville Slugger plant and seen how they make baseball bats, and picked up some of these butt ends that were baseball bats and brought them and gave them to this guy, Jim Roe. And Jim Roe has I thought about this, and here's why. Okay, on my YouTube feed came a video a couple months back, and I'm going to link to this video, okay? And do look at this guy's channel, Jim Roe. He has been a hobbyist in wet shaving for a long time. He's got, I don't know, 800 some videos, YouTube videos made. A lot of his stuff, he shaves across the board with a lot of different stuff. Where I'm mostly focusing on straight razors now. His focus I think is more towards single edge razors, vintage type stuff. But the video I'm going to link to is actually of a custom made adjustable, which I actually used. If you look back at my channels, you may find me actually doing a video of it. I think I can't remember if I did a video on that or whether I just can't remember. But anyhow, Jim did, and he was the one who got this razor. This was made by another great gentleman to the hobby that I know of by the name of Tom White. He's still around, and as is Jim Roe. You can find both of them, and I generally don't like to plug the shaved end because they tossed me out because there was a few people that did not like how I sharpened my razors, and they couldn't stand Jared Connerty, and their hatred led to my dismissal over there for misbehavior. But anyhow, they can be found over there, and they are a great source of information. I say that because these are people who influenced me along the way. And Tom likes to make razors, and he made this razor that was unique. And go to Jim's video, and it was, in my mind, it was the oh, by the way, the knot in here is a hybrid knot. I don't know if anybody makes this. Is like part boar and part badger. I don't really like the knot, but I did love this brush. I've always wanted a Jara brush, and I saw this. I love the tall handle and the painting he did. He turned these himself, and a lot of them he does it stained wood with a clear finish. But this one was one that I kind of like, so and I adopted it. Okay, and I don't think Jim is still making brushes. I know when I was active over there, I think he was beginning to wind down how many brushes he was going to make. So this is this Subtle Art soap is a lemon and lavender. And I wanted to say on that adjustable, I did use that, okay, and it is a lot like, it's very heavy. It's made of brass. It is a lot like a Merkur Progress razor, similar to a less expensive Parker variant in how it works, where you twist from the bottom and it moves the cap up and down for changing the blade gap and for the aggressiveness. But the guard on that was, if I remember correctly, I think it was a French razor, and I'm thinking it was a Famex, where it has this large type cage guard around it. If I think that was the inspiration for that, I don't really remember for sure. It doesn't really matter. But there were, Tom White made two of them, and he was kind enough to let them go on a pass around, and a whole bunch of people shaved with them, because it was an interesting concept for a hobbyist guy to make at home an adjustable razor like that. And I thought it shaved marvelously. And I forget who, the aluminum one went out in a raffle amongst the names of the guys who did the test shave, and the brass one was gifted by Tom to Jim Roe. So there's a little bit of nostalgia there, okay, and I've not been active in forums pretty much at all recently. I've kind of lost my taste for it, and I may even title this, put something smart in the title here about Scrape Razor Palace and that, because what I found is a lot of times you have personalities that conflict, and ideas and that sort of thing, and some people get their feelings hurt, and and sometimes people get to be moderators and they like to throw people off and that sort of stuff. But here's another little piece of history, and this is where I'm going to talk a little bit about shaving. Let me tell you about this. Okay, this is made by Victor Criazzi. Okay, this is Blues Blades. He is currentently not making blades. Okay, his website is down, but he made all these, and these had a unique finish. This is I bought this one because it's 52-100 steel. Okay, I think he generally liked to work with G10 or something like that, which I don't really understand. But he has a unique shape where I forget what they call this, reverse something point or something like that. And I think the reason he did this was so that the razor could rest in the scales without the sharp edge protruding down here. I think that was how the story goes. But a friend of mine did get a couple of these, and he liked them, and he got the ones that were San Mai, which is kind of like a forge welded top up here, with the core being a solid steel of a whatever solid steel the middle is, and beautiful stuff, really, really beautiful artistic type stuff. I was more interested in the mono steel. I didn't, need the sand mine, okay, and he would build these things, and he would shave with them all. And when he was active, I don't think he's terribly active. In shave forms much anymore. I think his business-wise, he's into building like these climbing walls, training walls that are inverted, and you climb up these things and learn how to climb and hang on. And there is a website up. It's called Bluesman Boards. So that's, I guess, his current project now. So I was glad to hear that he was still around, because I hadn't seen him post much. On Straight Razor Shave of the Day, things like he used to. And great guy, great craftsman. I would recommend, if you can get a hold of these, I would recommend you get one. Now when he sells these, he guarantees lifetime honing. You have to pay for the transportation of it. For me, I'm going to hone it myself eventually anyhow, but this still has a very, very good edge. I think at one time I read somewhere that he puts a piece of tape on there, and a lot of custom razor makers do that because they want to protect any hone scarring that you might see, which some people find objectionable. And that's fine. If you want to protect the looks of a razor, for me, I buy this stuff. I want to use it, and it's why I usually have stuck with, rather than pristine vintage, showcase queens. I've stuck with mostly modern manufacturer production razors, with this one being the one of two that are custom razors. Okay, and I do have a couple of vintage things. The interesting, I didn't think that this point will help around the nose. But it actually does. You can kind of see, you can kind of get in around there, whereas if the blade was more out, you would. So I don't find this objectionable. Initially, it is a unique look. It does have the grind is a, let's see if I'll get you to see, it is a belly hollow grind. Okay, you can kind of see the belly on here, where it gets a little thinner to the side. It is a slight smiling razor design. Oh, and on the Subtle Art soap, okay, I bought a couple other things because, I am of the training that sometimes you need to buy enough things to get free shipping. So I bought a couple of other things. I just, I delayed buying shave soap from Joe in spite of the fact that there were a lot of people that had spoke very highly of it, and it is a good performance. There's still a slickness on my face. It was very easy to lather. I like the Cajun blade, and I do give Joe my endorsement. Joe, you and your wife are doing a wonderful thing. Keep it up. And they are, I'm going to say, artisan soap makers, because some artisan soap makers don't make fancy designs. Okay, so I bought some bath soaps and I bought some shampoo bars, and I'll talk about those as I go along here. Those have like the swirly things, in which is artistic, but it's also artisan. Most artistic soaps are also artisan soaps, but not all artisan soaps are artistic soaps. For instance, although it could be said now that because Sterling has grown so much in size that they're no longer an artisan soap maker, but they are a small production soap maker, small independent production soap maker, and you could argue that. But when they were doing it in their house or whatever, and they consider themselves an artisan soap maker, I think I read somewhere where somebody says, well, you're not, there's no designs in there. And that's where he says, no, an artisan means we do this, make this soap as an art. And I don't know whether at what time they went from having it as a part-time endeavor to their full livelihood. I don't really know, but I did use I got a couple of bath soaps from Joe. I endorse them as well. They're very good. When you buy a artisan bath soap, it's going to be more per bar. That's all I use anymore, because I just like it so much better than any of the factory manufactured soaps that you find in Walmart or whatever other grocery store. I'll be buying some more. Okay, I have some of some other stuff that I kind of liked. It's pretty much all I use. And another thing that I bought from them that I really, really like. Okay, I have been using. Why am I doing that? I'm doing a downstairs. I'm talking too much and not paying attention to my shaving. I was supposed to go in to out. So, the shampoo bars, I've been using shampoo bars for a long time. I got to like them. I have a whole bunch of them. And I'll say, I'm not going to say where they came from. I'm just going to say that I have them, because this is kind of focusing on Joe and his work. Okay. Those provided by Subtle Art Soap. Say that 3 times real fast. Are larger than the other ones I buy, which were more square. Okay, these are the size of a regular bar of soap. It does leave a nice feel. If you're somewhere at a point in your life where you're finding that the typical shampoo in a bottle doesn't seem to be doing it for you anymore, when you pick up some of Joe's shave soap, pick up some bath soap and some shampoo bars too. One caution, the one thing I did notice, okay, if you're shampooing and a little bit goes in your eye, it seems to sting a little bit more than other stuff I've used. That's not a deal breaker for me, because I really am liking the feel of what it feels, leaves my hair like. Okay, if you look at the ingredients, these are like all oils and that kind of stuff, and really good stuff, I think, for things that you wouldn't find in shampoo in a bottle. To get the same chemistry for the treatment of your skin and your hair, you might have to go to a much more costly and higher end cosmetic type thing by some big cosmetic maker, but you're not going to find it in the Procter & Gamble variety. Okay, so that brings me up to another thing. Talking about and going down memory lane on some of these things, okay, I started thinking about the shave forums and history and that kind of stuff. And I started doing a little bit of looking, because I thought I had done it before, but I thought, let me try and put some dates on this. Okay, so where did people have been traditional wet shaving, straight razor or double edge razor or injector or single edge for a long, long time. Okay. But the popularity of it can be traced back to the first guy that did the made videos popular was Mark Harrow, a sharpologist. He's still around. I don't think he personally does. He's an educator, and I don't think he personally does too many videos anymore, but he was the first one to do it. And what prompted him, the way the story is, and as you could read on the Sharpologist, when he was first married and honeymooning in Las Vegas, he and his newlywed bride were, I guess, shopping, and there was an Art of Shaving store, okay, in which they were giving shaves. And I don't know if they were doing the straight razor shaves or whatever, because barbers had done straight razor shaves for a long time. But Mark has a very robust beard and hated shaving, and it tormented him like it did many of us, in cartridges and electric razors and going through that. And I think on their first anniversary, they went back and his wife scheduled him for a shave at the Art of Shaving. Now, where did the Art of Shaving come from? I think at that time it was owned by Procter & Gamble. I'm not sure. It became owned by Procter & Gamble. But Art of Shaving was I haven't read too much about the store, other than there were two people that owned it and started it in Manhattan and had built up a couple of stores. And I guess their business model was profitable enough that in their business itself was popular and profitable enough. that it opened Gillette's eyes. Now, why did Gillette buy that? Did they have some concern that they would be the best ones to be in control in something that could compete with the 5-blade cartridge and the monopoly that they kind of had? I don't really know. But anyhow, Mark Harrell was the first one to do it, and probably going back 18 years from now or so. I don't remember the exact dates, maybe almost 20 years. I thought I read recently there was 18 years of my research. And he made a lot of videos about double-edged razors and a lot of things, and a lot of people went that way. And I don't know who the next one. It seems to me that Geo Fatboy was the next guy to start doing videos, and then ultimately that led him to start his business selling razors and shaving supplies. That's shavenation.com, and many of us have started with the Sharpologist and Geo Fatboy. And Geo Fatboy, I think he's probably the biggest name in wet shaving videos. Those things that I do buy from Shave Nation, he likes to get his price. Okay, a lot of stuff he can get cheaper, but because he's been a person who has advanced the hobby of wet shaving, there's times you just don't mind paying whatever premium over. You know, you're gonna save a couple of bucks by buying it on Amazon or whatever. Particularly today, which is like Small Business Friday. These are the days that you want to kind of remember those people. And sometimes they do put stuff on sale. Okay, but he's well stocked and he carries a lot of great variety of stuff, and he's full of information. So he was next, and then I guess somewhere along the line there was the group of people who were straight razor aficionados, and I forget. I came into straight razors much after that had really changed a lot. But I think it was like an MSN news group or something like that, where people would talk about sharpening and that kind of stuff. And that was the work of Lynn Abrams, and I guess his business partner. I don't know his name, or because Lynn Abrams was winding down his business and getting out of his business when I started getting into straight razors. And there's loads and loads of people that watch the Lynn Abrams videos for how to shave with a straight razor. He gives an excellent talk, just one time on how to shave with a straight razor, and excellent points on different honing techniques. And many people to this day follow a lot of his stuff. and an excellent resource, which I also endorse. So, and then I guess his forum, which was originally known as Straight Razor Place, and then the name was changed because there was some funky monkey business going on with swiping it, and I called it, and they called it Straight Razor Palace, which I called it Stolen Razor Palace, and then, because the people that swiped it got to keep the database. It's like they stole the database and the name, and then they had to get the name back. The Straight Razor Place is still a forum, but it's void of people. There's just not many people active on that anymore. Okay. So I think I'll use a little bit of, I forgot to bring witch hazel in, so I'm going to use some Sterling unscented balm. I'll just put a dab of that on. And then I called it the Squatters Razor Palace and made fun of them and that kind of stuff, because one of the head moderators over there was one of the guys that had something to do with my ejection at the shave den. Yeah, that's right. GS6 gun. So anyhow, let's see, what else am I going to use? Oh, I got to use aftershave. So and then now that a lot of the information has moved over to YouTube. Okay, I'm going to say that this group of people, and there's a lot of YouTube shavers doing a lot of stuff. Okay. When I showcase some stuff, I buy the stuff, I use the stuff. I'm not here for free stuff. I'm not here for a cut from promoting somebody's product. I'll buy something, I'll like it, and then I'll talk about it if I like it. Okay, and that's just the way I am. The name should be, since we found some of these people that were masters of the beatdown, wanting to, they see their shave forums drop from where you could go online, and at any hour of the day you might find 500 people, when at most on weekends and stuff you might find 1,000 people, 1,500 people all online at the same time, all discussing and talking about shaving. Now it's like, if at most any of these places, you might see, in the biggest 150 at most. Okay, because people just kind of get tired of that kind of stuff, and a few of those bled over to criticize people who just are like doing their own little thing on their own little YouTube. So now we're going to call this, okay, and the term has come up, scrape razor shaving. So this is going to be the new SRP, the U-Toob SRP. We're going to call it the Scrape Razor Palace. Okay, so one thing I was a little unsure of, and Joe, if you tune into this one, one suggestion I might have is people like myself are a little bit unsure of your custom scents and that sort of things. A good way to introduce people to that, to eliminate a hesitancy, like I bought the lemon and lavender because I know what that smells like. Okay, but other things I don't know what they smell like. If I might suggest, Joe, put together some of those little spray bottles and put if you can do that, people will buy those. I will buy those, so I don't buy a big bottle of something that I don't like, or don't buy a whole tub of a soap that has a scent that I don't really like. This will give people kind of a clue to what your stuff smells like. Okay, but this kind of tweaked my interest, tweaked my interest. Mid-Cape Barber, okay. It sounded very, very interesting to me, and I smelled it, but It is a barbershop scent. A nice one. I really like this. I do really like this. It's doesn't leave you smelling like a medicine cabinet like some barbershop scents do. This has a sweetness to it. There's some citrusy type stuff to it that I'm kind of smelling, and some of the other typical, I guess there's vanilla or wood in there. My nose is not trained, okay? But it is another product that first time out of the gate, I really like this. I do enjoy this. Joe, thanks for your contributions to U-Toob and your work. My compliments to you and your wife, and you have won a customer. So that's it for the shave, gents. I did, even though I had a pretty good bit of growth, I'm shaved down pretty good. I actually did shave once in the middle of the week because I'm still playing with this in between to try and shave more. I do like these things, okay, and my reasoning being in that is that because of some of the things that have happened around shaving in men, you know, shaving kind of fell out. People don't like to use cartridge razors, and not everybody is going to come along, and not everybody is going to do this. And once Gillette started attacking manhood and all that kind of stuff, they may have backed off on that. I don't really know, but their razors are, last I checked, they're still crap. Okay, since they abandoned the original Gillette Atra two-bladed razor. That's what I'm going to say, because that's what I used for years and years and years. And then once they stopped making that, and all you could get was the Mach 3, I didn't like it. It irritated my skin. It was a different razor. It wasn't better. It was worse. And ultimately drove me to use electrics for years and years and years and years. And this is a good way. Oh, and look around. Those of you that are my age, you can look around and you can see how much more popular beards are with a lot of men nowadays. But a beard that is not sufficiently groomed is like this big bushy thing, but if you want to groom a beard, man, it's got to take a lot of time. You got to buy beard oils and this and that and keep it trimmed. A lot of people put a lot of work into it, but it's like you might as well, as I see it, you might as well almost go through the grooming rituals and hair that a woman does with her hair and that. It's like, how long does it take you to doctor up your beard, dude? Gotta be a long type of thing. So I'm a little bit long, 40 minutes into the shave with talking. Okay, how long do you spend on your beard, brother? Okay, my friends, thanks for tuning in. Wishing everyone moving towards the holiday season peace and joy. Thanks for tuning in. This is Bill Cal.